So my name is Torsten Kolind. I'm Danish, and I came over to San Francisco about 3.5 years ago. I'm the CTO here at YouNoodle. I came over basically because I got an opportunity to join a really exciting team very early on in the process. We built up a company from scratch, and that's very different here in California than it is in Denmark. My background is engineering, but it's actually biotechnology, so completely useless for what we're doing here, but I like a change of field in general. So YouNoodle has the world's leading platform for running competitions and application processes within the entrepreneurship world. So that's a niche like none other, but nonetheless one that we're really good at and we feel really comfortable with. So the main product is called Podium, and it's a management platform. So if you accept lots of entries, for instance, for a competition or a program, we'll help you basically screen and judge all these entries and figure out which are the ones that are the better ones. So the way I was approached and involved in the beginning was that I met the founders of the project at a conference that MIT organized. It was actually up in Norway, in Trondheim. And it was a conference for people working with entrepreneurs at universities. And I was running something called Venture Cup in Denmark. And I really needed input for how could we improve our program and how could we learn from how other universities are doing it. So we had a really good chat about that, and they told me about this project that they thought of building a network for competitions at universities everywhere. And it's quite a funny story because the initial version of the network and the software, they let me beta test it with Venture Cup, and I really didn't like it. So I told them very honestly that, you know, it's a great idea, but this wasn't going to work. And I gave them very detailed feedback for what they should do. And they came back totally unexpected. They came back later on and said, well, actually, would you mind coming over and helping us build this for real? So it was a totally random opportunity. And it was not because I was looking to come over to San Francisco. It was more of a random turn of events. I think one of the first things I noticed about the difference between San Francisco and Copenhagen was how wired people are here. People are feeling a sense of urgency that I just don't have when I'm around in the startup environment in Copenhagen. They know that they have to work really hard and they have to put aside anything else in their lives to make things happen. And that's really something that energizes you. It's something that's fascinating when you meet all these people that are really passionate about their startups. And I'm not saying that there aren't passionate entrepreneurs in Denmark. I'm saying here everyone is. And that no matter what networking event you go to or where you are, you get this energy from everyone else, which I really like. I think another note on how the two, Denmark and San Francisco, are different are the way people network. So one thing I've noticed here is that people go out of their way to try to help others when they meet. The first thing you think about is, how can I help what you're trying to do? Whereas often in Denmark, I feel like the first thing Danish entrepreneurs think about is, how can you help me? So there's a difference in how you're approached that really helps networking be a more pleasant and effective experience here. So what would my advice be to anybody trying to scale their company? I think the first thing that I learned here is that growing in a sustainable way is a great thing if you can. So it's very, very tempting to go out and raise lots of money and embark on a very risky project. But what we're doing here and what more and more startups in the Bay Area are doing is this lean startup model, which is you go out and you validate your projects with real customers or clients or users, and then it's a constant iterative process where you learn a lot about what would they like, what do they want to pay for, how much do you want to pay for it, and then you go back and you change your product. So that way you don't build everything and then it turns out that the customers want something else. So that's probably advice number one. Be as lean and as iterative as you can. And the upside of that is you might need less money to grow to the size that you want to become. So the lean startup principles are applied in our company very, very practically in a way that when we have a new idea or a new development, a new feature, a new product, we actually go out and very systematically validate that design with real users or clients, prospective clients, before we build it. So that means sitting down with a piece of paper drawing of the product and having a user say, would you use this? Does this work for you? Or it means going out with a product description and a price point to 5, 10, 20, 30 prospective clients and said, guys, if we had this, would you buy it and how much would you pay for it? And ideally even sign the first client before you build a product. And what often happens is that our initial design wasn't really what they were looking for. So then we go back to the drawing board and then we come up with a new iteration and then we go out to either the same or a new set of prospective clients. So what that gives us is a very rapid way of getting to the right product market fit. And not all startups do that as systematically as we do. We're in the process of a new product right now where we're doing exactly this process. And we have already pivoted that product at least 3 times. I think one of the learnings that I've had is that we did testing too late. So we waited until the product was almost done to just fine-tune the user interface, and we realized that there were actually some design flaws that, had we done that type of testing early on, we would have been able to see. So we all learn, it's a startup, but we haven't been doing it enough and early enough, I'd say.